And we are live. First time ever right here. Win Daily Sports. Me and Stoweby hooking you up for Monday Night Football Showdown. I am taking a place. Let me just say something. I am super jealous of Mr. John Jansen himself, who gets to be in Dallas right now. And I'm going to throw this out there. Okay, if I find out that my man Sean Brace is paying the bill for Jansen to be out there, me and him are going to have some words. But anyway, you see where I'm repping. I bleed green. I got the Eagles hat on tonight. Again, you follow me at Cutillo 23. As always, my man Stoweby. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
What's happening, brother? We've been trying to get this together for weeks and weeks now. Our schedules are just so out of sorts. We can never seem to get on here for a stream, but I'm glad to be finally doing it. I told Jansen, I sent him a text a little while ago because my wife's a Cowboys fan. I told him, I was like, if you can snag her some swag, I'll go ahead and get you set up. I'll pay for shipping.
Oh, nice. Wait a minute. How did you? Well, see, you're not a Philly guy, so I was going to say,
nope.
It's because if you're from Philly, it's like a big time violation to be marrying a cowgirl. You know what I mean?
No,
just throwing it out there.
We didn't. When we were growing up, the Panthers didn't come around until the mid '90s, so we developed our fandom before Carolina showed up. So, I'm a Green Bay fan. She's a Cowboys fan, which is really interesting because of the whole Dak caught it,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It makes it very interesting. I talk a little crap and I may get in a little trouble every time Green Bay plays Dallas.
Nothing wrong with that, man. We're always in the doghouse eventually, so it doesn't really matter, right? But again, it's all sponsored by the Sharp app. If you haven't downloaded the Sharp app, make sure you go out at the Sharp app, follow all social formats. And as always, Win Daily Sports, you still get the first month free. You sign up for that gold membership, and you get to talk to guys like Stoweby, not as much as me, because I'm getting my butt kicked here a little bit because I ain't on Discord enough. So I try. It's all I try my best. But tonight, we're going to try our best to throw out a nice showdown lineup, or not even just a lineup, just throwing out some guys that we're looking at. And because I think the most interesting thing, we were talking off air about this game, is the injury factor on both sides. The Philadelphia Eagles, the defensive line, know all about them. Brandon Graham, their leader, their basically their most behemoth pass rusher, is not there anymore. Now you just have Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett, who's very lackluster. And like you said, Stoweby, it's the offensive line is hurting a little bit for Dallas, and their defensive line. Again, Lawrence not playing, right? So talk about the game. What do you see tonight going far as, I don't know, points, game plan? What do you think?
I'm thinking we're going to have a lot of points just because of the defensive injuries on both sides, on both teams. My thought is Jalen Hurts, because of both defensive ends, both Dorrance Armstrong and Carlos Watkins being out, that RPO and that read option game is going to be very, very susceptible as far as Dallas goes. I think Hurts and Gainwell and Sanders can all have a huge night if they decide to lean on the run game.
Listen, I love me some Gainwell tonight. I really do. And I'm actually playing him in one of my season-long draft. I don't even care. I think this is a Gainwell game. I know there were some whispers about Miles Sanders being dinged up a little bit earlier in the week.
Chest injury, yep.
Right. So, you got to be careful. And Miles has shown the inability to hold that number one role and lock it down. So, you could very well see a three-headed monster tonight at a running back position, but they like Gainwell, Stowe. They really like him. I liked them coming out. I thought it was a perfect pick. You see what, not to make comparisons, but you see what Nyheim Hines has done, under that Sirianni kind of mold, and the same thing goes with Gainwell. So I think this is a really good 5,000 tonight. Do you throw him in a lineup tonight for 5,000? What do you think?
I think so. I'm going to throw them in a few. If we're talking 10 lineups, I'd say 5 of them have Sanders, 3 or 4 of them have Gainwell, and then I'll fade both of them all together in one.
Yeah, I like that, because I think you have to mix and match, right? You definitely have to mix and match, and we'll get into that. But let's talk right off the bat. Who is the captain in your mind tonight? Who you throwing that 1.5 tag on tonight? Who you paying up for? Because you mentioned, as much as everybody talks about the Eagles maybe not being that great of a team, Jalen Hurts has been very, very productive And I talked about this yesterday on the Firebox, and I said, what people aren't looking at is obviously it's the rushing ability, but he's still going to throw 30 to 35 times. The volume is there. So who would, obviously a lot of people are going to go quarterback with their captain, but Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, what's your stand on those two tonight?
My preference today is Hurts because of those defensive ends. And that because it's not just the fact that it's a starter caliber versus a backup. These guys are not necessarily getting the same type of reps as your starters go. And the one thing when you're dealing with read options is the discipline that is involved in being able to defend against that. It's really difficult if these guys, overcorrect or they commit to something before that read option has taken place. Then we're going to have the running backs, and we're going to have Hurts running free the entire night. So I think he has. I mean, his rush upside is going to be even higher than what it typically is for me tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, listen, if you look at it from, and I love looking at the numbers, and week 1 against Atlanta, we're talking 12,000. Now this is for your captain, right? We're talking 12,000 for Jalen Hurts, and then he goes in and he drops 29 on you. And then you come back and you drop him down 600 because Draftkings says we don't believe in you, Jalen. We don't believe that's what you do. And you're going up against Bosa and company, and he still drops you 22. And you know what they do, Stowe? They disrespect them again, and they drop him another 400 and say, Jalen, you ain't that guy. And I'm sorry, I agree with you. The only thing I will say that possibly could happen is that linebacking core is like no other in Dallas, right? So when you have those three guys together, especially Micah Parsons, somebody's going to be spying Jalen Hurts. So he's going to have to be very definitive in his runs. And this is a running back turned quarterback. Okay, let's remember that because that's essentially who he is. He's a running style player, right? So he's learning how to play within that offense. But I agree with you. I think tonight he's going to run more than we've ever seen. He might hit triple digits tonight, man. He really might.
I don't doubt that one bit. It just the thing with the linebackers, they are going to spy on them, but there are formations that you can run where you get somebody like a CD Lamb in there. Or not see, or if you bring in like a Smith in, and you attack those linebackers and force them to have to commit to the passing game, there's ways to clear these areas out for Hurts to be able to run free without a spy. It's just it's gonna be fun. He's gonna be running all over the field, in my opinion. I don't think there's any way that Dallas is going to be able to completely contain something like that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I do. Now, man, Ivan's second, and we talked about Gainwell, and he wants to know thoughts on Gainwell's captain to open up salary. That's interesting. That's a ballsy move, Ivan. So I'm going to say that's a ballsy move because you're putting the captain hat on a guy who essentially, if Miles Sanders can play, is only going to get 30% of the clock, right? So you really have to open that 30%. But again, like Stoweby says, if you're putting in 9-10 lineups, man, hey, try it.
Go for it.
Yeah, right. Why not? Right. I mean, right now he's sitting at 7,500 if you put him as your captain. Right. That's a really good number for a captain, right? 7,500. Yep. But you talk about Jalen, we talk about running. Let's just switch over. Before we get to Dallas, let's just talk about the receiving core for the Eagles because there could be. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. And again, I'm a Philly guy. So there's been a lot of thoughts about the specific guy. And, we're going to get to value a little bit. But I think, honestly, right here on the Eagles team, obviously you have Devontae Smith. Obviously you have Rager, right? Did you see the number on Zach Ertz? Like, I hope everybody – and this – I love these. Zoe, I love the value pay. But for 3,300 – or actually as your captain, but $2,200 Zach Ertz, who, right, 89 career targets against the Cowboys, second most against any other team. Obviously, can play in the NFC East, but still second most against any other team in his career. And this is Monday night. And again, you talked about there's Andre Dillard tonight because there's no Jordan Mailata. So what's going to happen is those hot rushes are going to get to Jalen, and he's going to have some hot routes. And I think so tonight You could see a tight end renaissance tonight. And for 2,200, I don't think you go wrong with Zach Ertz.
No, I like that idea. I was actually looking at the tight ends because of the injuries to the safety position for Dallas as well. So it's I think we're of the same mind on that. Goddard or Ertz at 33. That's perfect for value if you're trying to fit both of these pass catchers for Dallas, and you're trying to either pair up Prescott and Hurts with one or two of the pass catchers. That frees up a lot of salary. And as Ivan was kind of talking about, he's trying to fit all these studs from the looks of it. If you were to go for like a Gainwell and expect Miles to end up having something happen to where he's not necessarily playing, and an Ertz, you could fit all the top tier guys that you want in after that.
Yep, and that's a great point. And that's why people do it, right? It's like, and essentially Gainwell could give you Kareem Hunt style numbers a night, right? I mean, think about it. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, you if this is a high scoring game, I could definitely see Gainwell. I mean, you look at it, they still are not afraid to use him down at the goal line. So, right, he could essentially get you a rushing touchdown, and quite possibly could give you a line of like 4 catches for 50, 60 yards, and maybe possibly score a receiving touchdown. And if he's your captain, and then now you're talking about you have all your studs as filling guys, man, that's the way you cash, man. That could be a really good formula.
Oh, yeah, definitely take some risks. That's the one thing with Showdown, and I stress it in all of my articles, that don't play Showdown with the intent of trying to slowly build your bankroll. It is for fun. The variance is just so high. It's good to have run multiple lineups in Showdown, change things up. It's an all or nothing approach. So we're going to be taking these suboptimal plays and these suboptimal positions on Showdown that you normally wouldn't have in a standard slate. It's just a completely different monster. You could go from winning the winning $150,000 to being completely out of the cash with one long 90-yard bomb from a player that you don't have in your player pool. And it's just the way that it is. We do it to get a sweat in. We do it to have a little money on the line, but mix and match, have some fun, get a little crazy. It's not going to hurt. You're doing your 10 lineups. Just enjoy yourself, get a little sweat going, and hopefully take down some GPPs at the end of the evening.
I like that. Get a little sweat going, man. Nothing wrong with a little sweat on a Monday and a Sunday night football game, man. That's what Thursday nights, Sunday nights, Monday nights are all about sweat, man. I love it. It's exactly the way we are, because listen, we want to have some skin in the game. That's what it's all about. And why not mess around? Like you said, have multiple lineups right now. Let me ask you about Dallas. Obviously, I don't really think we need to go into Dak, because I think Dak holds the same cards as Jalen, right? They're both going to score an excellent amount of points tonight. I want to get your take on the Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott situation, because I was a big Pollard guy this year, only for the simple fact that I thought Zeke played as, last year at very, he was uninterested. He was very out of sorts. He just acted like he didn't care, right? So, and Pollard took the extra motivation to say, all right, you're going to give me 10, 12 touches a game. I'm going to make them count. And he looks like a very elusive, and he looks like a spark plug out there. So tonight, looking at this showdown line, I mean, you're looking at a Tony Pollard at 7,600. He's only $800 less than Zeke Elliott. So what's your read on these two guys tonight?
With that 51 total and with the expectation that we are going to have the over, I think we're in agreement on that. Yep. I like the idea of Pollard just a touch over Zeke, just because it looks like Pollard is the primary receiving back. He's getting used in those plays on the outside where they're trying to throw quick dump offs, get them outside. And, Zeke gets used in the passing game a little bit more, but it seems like when Pollard is on the field and passing down work, that is their primary goal for him. He's not in there as a blocker. Zeke is their blocker. Pollard is their pass catcher. Zeke I got to give him credit on that. It doesn't help for fantasy at all, but that dude is one hell of a blocker.
I'll tell you what,
he stunned me in week 1, the way that he was standing up those bucks.
Well, did you see him in the offseason? Dude, he looked, I don't know what kind of workout regimen he went on, but my God, he is ripped to shreds, man.
Oh yeah, I wish he'd stop wearing those belly shirts. He's kind of making me a little jealous.
I know. Tell me about it, man.
Look, I can't wear a Diddy shirt anymore in my life. I remember wearing those when I was in high school playing football. You don't want me walking around wearing those things anymore.
No, listen, let me tell you something. I got Jigsaw wearing one of them. People are running, bro. I'm telling you that right now. that nobody wants to see me walk around one of them, man. Definitely. No, it's a good point, though, about Pollard, because I like that. I like him getting a touch above Zeke tonight. I do. This is the here's the thing I'll say, and this is coming from me from experience in the NFC East. These games, no matter how good or bad these teams are, they're always exciting. There's never been see the Dallas, and this will go for the New York boys that win daily. The Dallas or the Philly Giants games always sucked. They were always low score, 7-6, 10-7. But the Cowboys and Eagles games always have a ton of scoring. So it's a great point with Gainwell. It is. And here's the thing, too. Dallas, there was again, just like we talked about Miles Sanders, there was some whispers about Amari Cooper. Was he going to be healthy enough to play tonight? So right now he doesn't carry injury designation. The ribs seem like they're going to be okay. I don't know if he's going to wear some extra protection or not, but CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper, or do you try to weasel both? Because you're talking about 9,800 and 9,000. That's a lot of cash in this lineup if you're not going to have a guy like Gainwell as your captain. So do you try to put both these guys in your lineup?
I'm going to try my best to fit both of them in there, just because with the passing volume that Dallas has, it's not hard for both of these guys to go off every single week. If I were to lean one way or the other, I would lean CeeDee Lamb, just because of the fact that injury can become an issue in this game, and it just gives the slightest bit of an edge. And maybe instead of doing Cooper, I would fit somebody like a Dalton Schultz in there, and because the tight ends, I think, on the Dallas side can be pretty sneaky, and I don't think many people are going to be going after them.
I agree, man. I do. I like the Schultz, and I like the Jarwin plays. I think there's, again, the sneaky plays are really going to take the difference tonight. Adam checking in. What's up, Adam? How you doing, buddy? Dennis checking in says, will Zeke or Sanders have more rush yards tonight? That's it. I'm going to go before Stowe. I'm going to say, without a doubt, in my opinion, this is a Zeke rush kind of game. Sanders does not get enough clock to me to get the rush yards, especially having the chest injury early in the week. I don't know how much that's going to play on, but I would go Zeke more rush yards. What do you think, Stowe?
I agree. I was going to say Zeke, he's still getting plenty. He got 16 carries last week. It's not like he's phased out of the offense. It's just that we like the Tony Pollard kind of passing upside. Zeke is still going to get his 15 to 20 carries in an up-tempo contest, and that injury to Miles Sanders is part of the reason why we're both kind of higher on Kenneth Gainwell than we have been. Because, Miles, he's had a habit of having these little injuries and having issues where he has to take time off in game to kind of save himself. So I'm with you on that. I think it'll be a Zeke game also.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Miles Sanders has really disappointed me, because I really thought being that number 2 guy behind Saquon and not having a lot of, still having a ton of tread on his tire, so to speak, I thought he was going to come in here and be a monster, man. And he's been soft. I'm really surprised he's been soft. I mean, maybe it's just unlucky. I don't know, but I really expected more out of him, because he's so elusive and he's so good. He's so good. Adam wants to know, do you think Jordan Howard plays tonight?
God, I hope not.
I'll tell you, man. Jordan Howard still finds a job somehow. I'll tell you, man.
Jordan Howard revenge narrative.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. I mean, so here's the other thing. Jordan Howard. I'll tell you what, Adam. If you want to throw $200 on Jordan Howard, I mean, I know we got a questionable designation for Boston Scott. I would think this would be more of a Boston Scott kind of game if they're using 3-headed monster, but it all depends on if he plays or not. This essentially could be something like that. But let's talk about Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor, because I think this is interesting. Because for me, when I'm going to build these lineups, I'm not going to put I want to line up with one receiver from each team, and I'm with you, Stove. If I had to pick between Cooper and Lamb, I'm going to go Lamb. He's $800 more, but I'm still tossed between Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor. I am. I don't know what it is. And I watched both these two guys play, and I think Reagor is the more explosive kind of back. Devontae Smith is more of the very smooth and silky kind of receiver. I just don't know which one plays out better tonight. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts with that?
For me, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with Smith because of the target share, and just keep it simple, because if we're talking 51 points, he's going to get another 8 targets tonight. And I just want to go ahead and keep it simple on that side. And I'll go ahead and get a little bit different elsewhere with guys like Gainwell and guys like Schultz and, the things of that nature, and Zach Ertz. I'll just keep it simple there. I know he'll be really popular, but I'll get a little bit different elsewhere.
Yeah, and that's the fun part about this, right? It's the fun part about you can really get creative, right? You can really get creative. Now, let's talk maybe creative. Let's talk about some stacks, right? Hold on. Brian Texas says Reagor still sucks. Quez going full D Jackson. I like that, Brian. I like that. Listen, I'm still mad at Jalen for popping off on Twitter talking about like he actually earned something to be able to talk. Okay, so your dad was a part of the team. That's why you got drafted, bro. Settle down, know your role, and just play. So I'm with you, B. I'm with you. I like the Quez. I like the Quez 75-yard bomb tonight. You never know. So let's get the stats. So we'll be thinking like stacking options tonight. We're talking, and let's just go. We'll stick to team, right? With Dallas, we'll stay on Dallas right now. And obviously we talked about, it's going to be Zeke Pollard, right? I mean, you could do a stack with Dak and Zeke, Dak and Pollard. I mean, what are you looking at stack wise? Would you be ballsy and do a 4-man stack and throw one of those tight ends in there?
I will on one of them. I am going to throw a tight end in there in a couple in one or two of these builds, actually on both sides. I'm going to have some where I'll have like Dak, Pollard, CD, and then Schultz or Jarwin. And then on the flip side, I'll have somebody like with Ertz, and Smith, and then Gainwell or Sanders. It's just there is no issue with me running 4-man stacks on both sides, and you can get the running backs involved everywhere. I'm not scared of putting these running backs in with these wide receiver stacks or with these shootout stacks.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am. I'm not scared at all. What I will say though is I would be more on the sense of I think I would go more stacking the Eagles tonight than the Cowboys. Just my opinion, because just looking at the values, I think you're able to fit more. Especially if you're going to go with the Zach Ertz, right, with the 2,200, and you have him there. Devontae 7,200. You're talking about a $1,200 savings essentially from Amari Cooper, 1,600 less than CD Lamb. So your stacking options, I think, are great, especially if we're talking, hey, listen, we go get real creative. We go Hurts. We leave Miles Sanders right out. You go Hurts, Gainwell, Smith, and Ertz, and you still have enough money. Enough money to stack that up, right? So I get it. Now, McLovin, my man McLovin, that's the best name ever, bro. Let me just tell you something. That is the best name ever. Win Daily does any positional player below 3,000 get a decent amount of snaps tonight? That's a good question. Now, we talked about Zach Ertz already at 2,200. There you go. There you go. Blake Jarwin, another, again, like we're talking, like Stoweby said, he likes his tight ends. Blake Jarwin at 3,000. That's not, again, the tight ends, man, are going to be your secret weapon. He's got 7 targets in 2 weeks. He's going to be included in this offense, right? I just think, honestly, I could see Zach Ertz tonight. I keep saying this, but I could see him get one of those 7-8 catch games, man, for like 80 yards and getting a red zone look and scoring. I could see it. And I'll tell you what, if you can get that for 2,200, man, woo, man. So Solid wants to know who's our top captain.
I think we're both agreed. Hurts.
Yeah, I think I think we're both in there for it. I think it's going to be Jalen Hurts. He's only $100 less than Dak, but it doesn't matter. Take that 100. Probably tonight you're going to need that 100. I'm going to tell you that right now. You need that 100. So right, exactly. Brian says Gainwell sneaky touchdown vulture tonight. I agree. We talked about that, B, right at the beginning. Oh, look at this. Dennis got throwing a lineup out. I can talk. Zeke, Dak, Schultz, Rager, and Hurts. Interesting. So
he's going that's Zeke clearly FanDuel. Captain. Yeah, that's FanDuel. You got that touchdown equity, so that's not that's not a bad idea.
I like that.
Bad idea. Yep. Because I can guarantee you probably 90% of the lineups on FanDuel are going to have either Hurts or Dak in because you don't get that 1.5 times increase in price.
That's a good point. See, that's why you're here, Stowe. No, look, hold on. Dennis, I gotta help you out here, bro. He's not on there anymore. Unless he got he was cleared to play today.
Yep, removed from the reserve COVID-19 list.
Yep. As of 11:30 this morning, he was removed. So he is expected and trust me, he will play. He will play tonight. He's ready.
Yep.
Because he is ready.
You got like the COVID list is anything that if you've been in close contact with somebody and you have to get a rapid done, or if you showed symptoms and you're waiting on test results to come back, there's just a litany of things. It doesn't necessarily mean that he was, sitting there in his house for a week, laid up. He could have just been exposed to it. So, so he don't stress that. Yeah. Cause, that can mean a lot of different things. So I'm still good with Ertz.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. Josh says Quez going deep for 6. I can definitely see that. Jordan Smith wants to know best value guy on FanDuel, 5,500 and less. Give us a second. We'll look at that. Cedric Wilson, 80-yard bomb. Go ahead. So what do you got, buddy?
Oh, no, I'm pulling it up too. I was going to say, cool. We usually base all these things off of Draftkings, so I'm pulling FanDuel up right now.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, cool. That's Ertz active. Yeah. Theo, what's up, Theo? Checking in as always, my man. Ertz is definitely active. Yeah, B, we got it. We're helping our man Dennis out, man. Dennis, we're here for you tonight, man. We appreciate it. We're here for you tonight, man. Dude, I'm getting excited thinking about Ertz. I am, and I'm not even an Ertz guy. I just like that $2,200 number. I really, really like that $2,200 number. I do, and I'll tell you, man, like if you look at this, see, like Stoweby said, the showdown lineups are interesting. You got to mess around with them. You got to take risks because you're only picking from a handful of people here. I mean, you can't get too cute. You don't want 3 guys in a lineup that you think are boomer bust picks. You got to get your constants, but then you also have to find that true value, which obviously is why everybody's asking for under 3,000. Adam says, and Andy Reid was dehydrated, Adam. That's what I read. He was dehydrated. It looks like he's going to be okay. And let me tell you something. That man, he comes back to Philly next week against the Chiefs. I love that guy, man. Like, listen, there's a lot of tough love in Philadelphia. So, but I'm glad to see the Big Red's okay. Big Red's okay. Best value guy, Jordan asking 50. There's probably what we got.
5,500 is tough. It drops off. It drops off a cliff at 6K. So maybe Greg Ward. Yeah, I mean we're JJ Arcega-Whiteside. It's really there's really not there is not a whole lot to choose from, to be honest with you. If you can find a way to just tweak that a little bit to get a little more money out of there, because you're talking once you hit 5,500 over on FanDuel tonight, you're talking about guys that might not even see a single snap. So
yeah, exactly. Now Theo says he's getting real. He says Ertz as captain allows you to fit almost. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do a build with Ertz as captain. Right, and I'm gonna. If everybody else does that, I want everybody to hit me up, hit me up on Twitter, and let me know if you did it, because I'm curious. At Cutillo 23, I'm curious to see if this happens, because I expect a really big game from him. 100%, I do. Now, Michael says, is Hurts There you go, Stobus. Hurts a must at MVP tonight on FanDuel GPP.
It's him or Dak.
Yeah.
For unless you got your one-offs if you gotta make it a little bit different. So I don't think anybody is a must, but Hurts and Dak are probably going to be the two highest scoring players on the night. So on FanDuel, it's hard to get away from them.
Yeah. Theo says I'm doing it. We're in. Matt says I'm up 14 going against Miles Sanders. I think your chances are pretty good, man.
Honestly, I'd say right around 50, 60, 40. And actually you're probably on the good side of it just because of the usage that Miles has been getting. I'm in the same boat as you, but I need 26 from Miles Sanders in a PPR format. Yeah. I've got like a 1% outlier chance on it. So, but 14, you're talking, 40 yards, a touchdown, and then 2 catches for 20 if we're talking PPR format. So,
and that depends. Are we talking standard or PPR?
Yeah, if standard, you're probably closer to 70% because that touchdown equity that they need and the total yards. Because Sanders is just the usage has not been there the way that I thought it would under Sirianni.
Yeah, me neither, man. Me neither. Matt says I need Miles to miss the team bus or something. I like it, man. I like it. Josh says you want the best PPD in the captain. He goes, I said player. Yep. I agree. You want the best positive point production. I get it. You want that, not a pump play. But if you're going to do 8, 9, 10 lineups, why not throw one lineup in there with what do you have to lose, right? What do you have to throw a couple bucks on there? You never know. And if he goes off, you're going to be above the rest.
Yeah, I don't go too crazy on showdown slates anyway. I'm just doing it to have a little bit of fun to where, 70 to 80% of mine will have your Dak or your Hurts in the lineup, but there's going to be a couple of them where I stick somebody crazy in like an Ertz or, a Elliott or a Pollard because of his upside. But yeah, most of my builds are going to be status quo.
Yeah, you're changing one off here or there, back and forth. You know what I mean? It all depends, man. The Prince, what's up, Prince? My man, checking in, man. Yeah, so Prince, just so you know, I'm here now, so the baseball ain't gonna happen tonight, cause I'm just like, I got too much going on. I'm trying to cover all angles, but had to fill in for my man Jansen tonight. So
yeah, we'll try and get in here earlier tomorrow, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely try. 100. I blame this one on me. I'm the late guy. But as always. But so before we get out of here, final thought. We want to kick this third with 32. Got any final thoughts for tonight? Anybody that you just figure, hey, I'm going all in this one player that we've already talked about. You want to review? What you got for everybody?
I don't think it goes without saying, I don't think there's going to be a single lineup that I have that's not going to include Hurts in it. He is 100%. But if I'm going to be taking a look at somebody that I really like, as I think we're both on the same page, is I'm going to lean into Kenneth Gainwell a little bit tonight because he fits the build with the type of game that we have going on. And Miles Sanders with his chest issue, I don't necessarily trust that. So I'm going to be going a little heavy with Kenneth Gainwell tonight.
Yeah, I like the Gainwell play. I like the Pollard play. I love the Ertz play. I will say this, and Jordan brings us out, thoughts on Greg the Leg. I know who he's talking about.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
but I'm not a big kicker guy, in my opinion. Maybe it's tough, man.
Take into consideration that think about back to week 1 with Greg where he was missing those kicks. He did. I know it's been a couple of weeks and he's gotten the rust knocked off, but he still had major back surgery in the off season. So I'm not gonna mess with that. Not Greg. I'd consider going the other way, but that surgery, a back is nothing to mess with. I've been dealing with that for the last year, and I can tell you, it can cause an issue at any time. And the last thing you want is a kicker shanking 3 or 4 field goals for you in your lineup tonight. You might have to buy a new TV.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. 100%. Now the other Greg, I'll say before I go, is I get these gut feelings, right? I always do. I don't know what it is, but I was listening to Sirianni speak this week, and he was asked a question about that Philly special part 2 play that he tried with Greg Ward. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. If I have a feeling that he's going to break that out again tonight, I think he's pissed that it didn't work, and I think he wants to show, this is going to work. And I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling that play's going to break out tonight. And I'm looking at Greg Ward at 1,600. He doesn't even have a target. He doesn't even have a target all year. But something tells me something's going to change this offense. They went against Atlanta, and they looked flawless. And then they looked like they couldn't buy a catch against the Niners. He's going to change his offense up. He talked a lot about play calling. He talked a lot about putting guys in better positions to make plays. And the best possession receiver they have, besides Devontae Smith, is Greg Ward. So I would not be surprised if Greg Ward breaks out on a few catches tonight, but also gets in maybe a touchdown on that Philly special part 2. You never
like it.
Never
like
know.
It.
You never know. But on that note, as always, everybody checking in, Win Daily Sports. That is the Showdown talk for tonight. Me and I'll be back tomorrow night. What's tomorrow night? So what do we talk about Tuesdays? And I don't normally do Tuesdays. We just talk about DFS values for week 4. Is that what we got tomorrow night?
Yeah, we just talk targets and touches, going into next week. But since we've got 3 weeks of data, we can go ahead and just kind of figure out who we like going forward.
I like it. See, I got to lean on my man. So I don't do Tuesdays, so I got to figure it out. So,
we'll make it work. We have a nice article that comes out every week that actually goes through the previous week's targets and touches. We can pull that up, pull our own data up, and we'll be fine. We'll be good to go.
Oh, sounds good to me, man. I agree. Josh, Matt, Jordan, Prince, Brian, everybody, Adam checking in, Dennis, everybody have good luck tonight, man. Good luck. Let us know how you make out because we want to know. We'll be curious tomorrow. So check in with us tomorrow night. Probably maybe a little earlier, maybe more towards 5-ish. I'll get here on time, I promise. Maybe who knows? I'm not going to hold myself to anything, but go Birds because I'm not a Cowboys bot. For Stoweby and his wife, go Boys. I'll give you that. But as always, Win Daily Sports at Sharp app. Everybody have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.